Is there any doubt that it is or should be Bo Horvat?
Oh, it's going to be Bo Horvat. And you and I knew when we sat down with Bo Horvat in Chicago, it was going to be Bo Horvat. He didn't confirm it to us. I don't want to start any stories there. But he had the air of a guy who knew it was coming. He had the air of a guy who wanted it. He had the air of a guy who has the trust of the organization. He's been there through some really lean years now. He's getting better every year as a player, better every year in the face-off dot as a centerman on that team. He now has help in Elias Pettersson, and hopefully Besser stays healthy. You can see a scenario where the Canucks are significantly better this year. I'm not saying they're a playoff team, but you can see them grow, and I think he has grown with them.
Well, if they're healthy, they're a playoff team.
I think they're close.
Jacob Markstrom, we can have that conversation, but we saw flashes last year where both of us thought before they hit another injury spell, which they've gone through seemingly every year for the last few, that they were going to make the playoffs.
This seems like a good moment for me, for the Vancouver Canucks, to, in a year where the Sedins are going to be honored.
Celebrating their 50th year.
Huge year in Vancouver. I feel like you need a captain if there is one obvious candidate.
And there is.
I'm happy for Bo Horvat. Whenever this happens, it'll probably happen before the game next Wednesday against the Kings, their first home game of the season. So congratulations to Bo on something that has not officially happened yet, but we all believe is going to happen.
But the fans want the guy, and the guy wants to be the guy. So it's going to be Bo Horvat.
And he signed long-term. He signed at a good cap number. That's kind of irrelevant to the discussion, but you know he's going to be there. It all fits. It's going to be a great call.
All right, we've also got John Tavares on the Fit for the Sea board. Did the Leafs just take Chris Johnston's idea and they're going to skate a captain out there tomorrow on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey?
I mean, the rumors are flying hot and heavy right now about what that could look like tomorrow.
It's Tavares, and it's the right call.
Is it Tavares?
It's Tavares, and it's the right call.
Okay. Why isn't Morgan Rielly the right call?
Because John Tavares, listen, you could still have a run of a good 5 years, and if all goes right, you could turn to Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and or Morgan Rielly and say to all of them, you're going to be the captain of this team. John Tavares has already been a captain before, and he displays the type of leadership in a market like Toronto, cool, calm, collected, never too high, never too low, that I think this team needs. And I knew it when I heard Mike Babcock talking about Kawhi Leonard. I knew, and I should have said it at the time, but I'm the guy here that poses the questions. I'm not the guy here who yells and screams about what I think is going to happen. I try and meticulously go through information and wait for the right time to say it. I think Mike Babcock told us, what was it, like 3 weeks ago?
Before camp officially even started? No, check that. They were in Paradise, Newfoundland at that point. No, camp just started when he said this. Yeah.
Just less than 3 weeks ago. Here's what he said about Kawhi Leonard in Toronto with the Raptors, and tell me if you can't draw a line from that to who the next captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs will be.
There was a guy, he played for the Raptors last year, I don't know if you remember his name. He came into town and he changed things overnight just with an unbelievable demeanor, with stick-to-itiveness, like I haven't seen, with a competitive edge, not bothered by much, left all his talk into his play. And they ended up winning a championship, and I thought he made the team better around him. And to me, that's leadership.
Was he almost, in a way, describing John Tavares?
He was, but I think you can also say he was describing a guy in Morgan Rielly. Could you not?
You're big on this Morgan Rielly part.
Look, all I know is Morgan, and people are pointing to his contract in terms of, well, you can't give the C to Rielly because he's up in a couple of years. He has 2 more years after this year. I still think that's not a crazy amount of time to commit a C to a player.
Why did we get into this habit of saying the young guy who's going to be good is the captain? That's the only part of this that...
Rielly's 25.
Right.
It's not like he's 21. He's 25.
But we're also talking about Austin Matthews.
Yeah, and he's way up.
And because Connor McDavid's the best player in the world, you make him the captain in Edmonton, right? Yeah. And I understand, I get it, but it used to be that the captain was a seasoned guy who understand the highs and the lows of playing in whatever market that they were in because they had been there for a while and they had been around the game for a while. it just seems natural for me to give that C to John Tavares, given his experience, given that he's done it before, and given what I think that this team needs to grow, and then let those kids who are obviously somewhat competitive with each other continue to battle without one of them getting a C because someone else is going to ask for the same thing that the other guy got.